call the meeting to order. The meeting of Young County Commissioners Court, Tuesday, May 27, 2014. It is 9:35 a.m. Note this is a regular meeting. We'll also note that notice is given in manner and time required by law, and that all members of the court are present. If you will, please rise. Identification pages, I believe that's going to be from
Okay, let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we just want to give you thanks and praise for the rains that we've had these last few days. And Father, we just know that we need more to heal our lands and fill our tanks, and you'll send that rain when you think time is needed. Father, we just ask the ceremonies yesterday, we continue to bless those men and women that sacrificed all, and not just celebrate their lives on one single day, but every day. That just affords us the freedom so we can meet self-government as we're doing today. We just ask you to be with us, guide and direct us. Give us wisdom on the issues facing us this morning to better our community and to better our county. We just ask you to work your will in our lives. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Under the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you, Commissioner. Also, take note that we had Larry Castille's father died the day before yesterday, I believe, or maybe the day before that. Saturday or Sunday. His funeral services, I think, are tomorrow at Cottonwood Cemetery. Is that right?
At 10 o'clock. Graveside.
It didn't have I went over there yesterday and they did not have a funeral service listed other than at Cottonwood Cemetery.
I printed that because I think it was at 10, but it got it in.
So remember Larry and his family and our thoughts. Have one other public announcement here is you'll find that in your pack. That is our disposition on our reporting for the seniors reporting. On our adult, we have 91.91%, and on the juvenile, we have 94.38%. So that keeps us above the 90% threshold and eligible for those grants and things that may be pertinent. CDs on grants. Are there any other announcements?
Yeah, I'd like to wish Commissioner Wiley a happy birthday and anniversary.
And happy anniversary also.
All at the same. He did it smart.
That's, wow, that'd be double present to you, I would think.
Yeah.
Thank you. Just stay around a little bit longer and you'll be among us senior citizens.
5 more years, right?
He is AARP official.
Oh, is he now? At 50?
At 50, you get AARP. I know from experience.
Congratulations on anniversary and birthday. Any other announcements? The adjusted application sent to TREASURE'S. I got that accomplished, I believe, on Thursday, late Thursday afternoon. I did have to send it back. I had one little block that had to be checked on the environmental thing. I thought the affidavit that we had, certification covered that, but had to check that box. But anyway, I think everything else is okay with it. The best I understand, as they are sent to TxDOT, it takes about a week for those to return to the district. And at that time, the district this case, Alan Moore will send a authorization. Or that return, I guess I'll do that within the next week, 10 days.
Is the lawsuit going to affect us anyway?
I hope not. I think we can still continue to start whenever we get the authorization.
There should be between them and him. They should have had a clause in there, somebody contested like it, they didn't get nothing.
Remind up for the meeting, they said just as soon as you can, when you start to get vote,
You know,
There is a webinar today on the CTREASUR'S, on submitting your invoices. It's at 1 p.m.
Are you gonna watch it?
Well, I'll try to.
Okay, you'll holler it off.
I'm not sure, did I send that email to you? I might not have sent it out yet, I just got it this morning.
No, I had one, but I think it was that other one from the other.
But it'll be on the TAG website.
Need to find out if we can send them an invoice on a signed contract, or is that need to complete work
No, I think you can send them in, you can invoice
for
contractors
contracts?
costing up to you every 30 days. I don't think we invoice them sooner.
Got any money spent?
It's already
I think
completed.
yeah.
I think you can continue to enter.
You can do that every 30 days and show them.
The invoice work done.
Spend that money first.
If you're gonna watch it or listen to it, Judge, I'll be to listen to it with you. Are you gonna watch it?
I bet Eric can record it for us and then you can send it via.
I'll send you that link. Possible. Send the link, it's tag link. Okay, is there anything else? Yes.
Judge, I don't know if this is the time or not, but, my name is Monty Land. Monty Land, and I'm with Possum Kingdom Life Association. And I'm here just simply to ask your support of this, and the commissioner's support of the resolution that y'all are gonna talk about today. Item 12. And, if any of you have any questions or not sure about anything, I'm here to help answer any of the questions regarding that resolution.
Yes, sir, thank you. Any other announcements? Item number 4, consider county clerk's minutes from previous meeting, May 8th, 2014. Are there any corrections, deletions, or additions?
So moved.
We have a motion by Commissioner Wiley, second by Commissioner Rogers to accept these minutes as presented. All in favor? Carried. Item number 5, Treasurer's Financial Report.
I'm giving you copies of the balances for April, and we're still looking very good in all of our financial accounts, except for the ad valorem, it's still kind of low. We've collected, overall about 96% of the overall taxes, and our, actually, we have collected more than we budgeted in our current taxes, 6%, which we've collected over 200,000 extra than what we budgeted in just the general. And our sales tax is looking good. It's right on target with what we budgeted. We received 100,000 for May. That's a change. Anyways, everything is just looking really well.
Nothing unusual.
Well, we collected, did we ever find out what that tax was we got for those penalties? That other, I gave you the other day? We received some extra taxes from the appraisal district.
Yeah.
Or from some old penalties that were collected, and I don't know whether they have them in their books and when they've been working over in their office and decided it to come to us, but.
You showed that to me, and I couldn't really figure out just exactly where that
Right.
line, evidently it was interest and penalties
Right.
that had been collected.
Yeah, I called her about it and we'll talk, and I'm gonna go over and see Luke Wednesday afternoon for some stuff, and I'll make a copy.
Yeah, they were from 2011 or 10, 11, and 12. But anyways, everything's,
So moving to financial
We have a motion, Commissioner Wiley, and second by Commissioner Rogers to accept that treasurer's report as presented. All in favor? Carried 5-0. Item number 6, county auditor's budget amendments, and 7, payment of vouchers.
I have vouchers,
No
total,
amendments.
no, sir. Total of vouchers this morning is $101,455.72, and which $94,671.53 is of the general, and the rest are precincts and law library. Mainly the general this morning.
So moving on vouchers.
Have a motion by Commissioner Wiley, second by Commissioner Sykes to approve the vouchers payable as presented. All in favor? Carried 5-0.
And I also wanted to tell you that the ice machine here at the courthouse, I talked to Judge Bullock about it this morning, has hit the bucket, kicked the bucket, and yeah, we had it repaired, and it lasted us.
About a year.
Has it been? I don't know. It's been that long since we had it repaired. And I don't know, but the compressor's getting hot and it's kind of dangerous. We've got it unplugged. A new one is $1,500. Discount appliance. They came and worked on this one and got it going for us for a little while, but it's not going to last. And I have $4,400 miscellaneous in non-department, so I was
I say about it.
probably
How did you call out?
I pulled that up.
okay, so that was before she came, so over 20 years.
No, that's, I think it was this one was purchased when,
Been there before.
first came up here 14 years. So it's been a good one, but
It's probably done service.
If you get this new one, that's as long as that old.
yeah,
The new trick.
the new one I'm looking at, it's a Whirlpool. And, it's $1,500. I think that one when we bought it was $1,000. So, yeah. In 20 years.
The new, yeah, the new Freon.
Yeah.
Okay, that'll come through next time.
Yes, I'm gonna get it, I hope I'm gonna get it ordered today, and hopefully we'll get it in the next few days, because we've used that ice machine a lot.
Okay, item number 8, Young County Appraisal District request for refund, Wesley Morris, $115.34. ARV did not change. I don't believe I've seen this report, just like this. That may be first time, that may be one of the changes that the legislature made in the way that that's being presented, but
It is different. So moved.
Second.
and we have a motion by Commissioner Pruitt, second by Commissioner Sykes, to approve the request for refund as presented by the Young County Appraisal District, Wesley Morris, in the amount of $115.34. All in favor? Carried.
Is there a way we can give us an explanation of that form?
Oh, yeah, well, I get one.
So if the ARV didn't change the value, why the refunds?
Well, maybe they were,
Just overbilling?
maybe they were supposed to go down, and they didn't.
Well, I think it's significant enough to write down those ARV did not change the value.
All of them.
I just like to have better understanding.
Well, I would too. This is the first time I've seen this kind of form, so I'll be talking with you. And I'll have you one or have him over here do one.
Thank you.
Item number 9, acknowledge deputation Nathan BUENO with Young County Sheriff's Department. Don't know if there's any action necessary on that, but we can acknowledge that. Digitization. Item number 10. Susan Combs, Texas Comptroller, Public Accounts, State of Texas Cooperative Purchasing Program. That's $100, I think $100 membership fee that we've customarily been being a member of. I don't know how much we use that. Doesn't cost much to have that privilege to utilize it.
Just to get our stuff. Free stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'll make a motion, we go pay $100 membership fee.
You got the second? We have a motion from Commissioner Wiley, second from Commissioner Rogers to enter into the agreement with Texas Comptroller for purchasing of goods and services on the co-op at $100 annual fee. All in favor? Carried 5-0. Item number 11, consider allowing Liberty National Life, Ashley Burks, to discuss employee pay supplement insurance to be payroll deductible. Ms. Alden.
She came to my office and requested this, and I said, well, send me an email if you want. She sent an email wanting to be on the agenda for today, but I think that's every year, so I don't know anything about it. This, I think it was something similar to Aflac and Conseco that we already have payroll deducted, but like I said, I guess we'll table it.
No representation,
No, sir.
no action taken.
No action.
Okay, item number 12, discuss and consider resolution number 018 FY 2014 regarding discharge of water from Possum Kingdom Lake. This request came to me from Palo County Judge Dave down there. This is their resolution that's just modified to add Young County, or name Young County where it's appropriate to do so. City of Granbury evidently had requested that the Brazos River Authority turn loose more water than what they're authorized to turn loose for the Lake Granbury. You're here for this item?
Yes, sir.
Can you explain it a little bit?
Yes, sir.
Come right on up here, please.
Okay. Judge, what you just said is pretty much it in a nutshell. As you notice on this, they referenced the HAF study. The HAF study was a study that BRA commissioned, and basically what it did was it was a study looking at on-water facilities. What they based the study on, they looked at the on-water facilities like Granbury and at Possum Kingdom Lake. And they were going to see, how it would affect them economically, or how it would economically impact each lake. How many on-water facilities would be out of water here opposed to here. And what they came up with was a 1 to 1.75 drawdown ratio between Possum Kingdom and Granbury. People at Granbury have asked Brazos River Authority to go back and reopen the HAF study and consider a greater ratio of 1 to 3.5. And what we've done is the Lake Association of people at Possum Kingdom, Palo Pinto, and Stevens County also passed a similar resolution. And as Judge said, this basically is the resolution similar to there. And it's just asking Brazos River Authority to not increase any drawdown. That's basically it in a nutshell right there. You got any questions? Yes, sir.
What was who's the initial agreement with on the level of Possum Kingdom? What is the agreement as it stands right now? How much can they draw it down?
Well, all they can do, all they're doing right now, at least what they tell us, is that they're letting out the amount of water that's necessary, that by law, what is necessary to keep the river alive.
That's the law I'm asking.
That is the law. That is, I believe it's a federal law.
They just maintain running water?
Just maintaining running water. Yes. Sadly to say, it's actually more than what's running into the lake right now, which is a sad thing.
Well, just on the point of that, I think Lubbock got 7 inches of rain just a couple of days ago, and maybe we'll get some of that water down there.
I'm sure it helps. Yes, sir.
So, it'll be a good thing.
But going back, we talked to Brazos River Authority. They're going to stick with this policy right now. Just between you and me and the fence post, they wish to have study would go away. And the Brazos River Authority. But they, what basically started all this was people at Granbury that were kicking and screaming to Senator Birdwell, who lives right there in Granbury, and he just had so much pressure put on him by the people of Granbury that he went to VRA and kind of put some legislative pressure on him what he could, and they agreed to look at this happen. They agreed to commission this study, and that's where they are right now with their drawdown protocol.
So the 1 to 1.75 would increase the drawdown more than it is now?
No, the drawdown right now is 1 to 1.75.
Okay.
Now, they're not letting any water out of Possum Kingdom except to maintain that drawdown ratio. In other words, for whatever 1.75 foot they drop, we drop 1. I mean, whatever 1 they drop, we drop 1.75. And they're asking for a 1 to 3.5.
What is the lake level and the percentage of the level it is?
The lake level right now is a little over 15 foot low. Percentage wise, I think when it was about 13 foot, I think it was at like 60%, so we're probably looking at mid-50s, something like that.
Granbury.
Granbury is right at 11 foot low, I believe, right now.
So they're higher than we are.
Well, yes, but they're quite a bit smaller than the lake too. Percentage wise, I'm not real sure what percentage their capacity is right now.
They got some good rain.
Well, they actually did. We watched it on the radar, and there were, I think it was night before last, northeast Erath County and Hood County were flash flood.
This morning too.
Around about 8 inches of rain. These rains are not a long-term solution to this problem. Because if they decide to do it, it's going to be a permanent situation.
Yes, sir.
So, I understand that the recreational economic viability of Possum Kingdom Lake is at stake, basically.
Yes, sir.
As well as property values, which means tax revenues for those counties had to calculate those revenues in their budget.
That would depend on Langley and a little bit Young, a little bit of Stevens.
Yes, sir.
The economic impact to Young County is primarily those people who visit Possum Kingdom that shop and buy groceries and gasoline.
Coming from Alabama Road.
But we've had some devastation between the fires a couple of years ago and lately the drought.
I had a couple of visits with Granbury commissioners, County commissioners. They were saying their lake looked pretty bad. Well, I asked them to come visit Possum Kingdom, ours looked pretty bad too. So, I use the word ours because we got very little Possum Kingdom. We got a lot of interest in Possum Kingdom.
So is that Lake Whitney tied in with all these ratios?
No, sir.
You know?
No, sir. They're not. It's just a ratio between us and Granbury.
Is VRA, are they being able to deliver the water that they have sold to those downstream industries?
So far they have, and they told us that they're not releasing any water except to maintain the river, the life of the river. And they've suspended a lot of their water rights, except for the very top senior water rights when they have a call, and that would be Dow Chemical. But they're hoping that they can supply them with what water they have downstream. Of course, eventually, all the water downstream is going to come from us anyway, so.
They still using water, flood water,
Sir?
but we're Stevens County, they still get water, flood water.
Yes, sir, there's still some water, yes, going to Stevens County.
How much lower can it get, still have a viable water system then?
I believe Sue Kathy, who runs the water system out there, told me, has made it known that when it gets to 20 foot, they can no longer pump out of their existing water inlets.
Okay, so that's
Now,
a
what-
mechanical situation.
Yes, and what they're doing is they've already looked at, and I think they're fixing to test it, a floating water siphon.
Well, gentlemen, I think that, you know, being a,
Let me catch your name, it's Monty.
Land.
being a supporter of Possum Kingdom Lake in this situation is also being a friend of Young County and our economy here, and that we should enter into this resolution number 018-F52014.
Second.
Okay, you have that written. That was a motion by Commissioner Sines, second by Commissioner Wiley to execute this resolution in support of our neighboring Stevens and Alabama counties and our joint interest in Possum Kingdom Lake, requesting that that not be drawn down any further than the ratio currently is. All in favor?
Aye.
Carried.
Who will this go to?
Alabama County, Stevens County, and I believe it said on there, our senators, reps, supervisors, and the treasurer. Okay. Item number 13. Okay, discuss, consider access to the field earth for Stewart Ranch Road project in Wiley.
I've got a bridge left over there on Stewart Ranch Road. It's the old style, wooden bridge is what it is, going across the creek. It's gonna take an adequate amount of field dirt to make my bypass road going around there. I had Dwayne Groves from TxDOT there last Thursday, and he gave me the sizes of the pipes I need, how many I need to have to make this access go around it. Main reason is that bridge is set up to be done at about this time of next year, about April next year. But we're still having issues with it. We got a lot of heavy equipment going across it, more than what the bridge is ready for. So I'm trying to get set up, get ahead, because if it ever starts raining, we're not gonna be able to put that road crossing in. So I'm gonna try to get ahead of the project. Get that.
Or they're gonna still come back in and keep that on the project?
It's on the project, yes. They moved it up because it's that bad a shape.
Try to tend to temporary fix.
Yeah, well, yes, we're gonna fix it where we may even shut that bridge if it gets to a point where, or to make the trucks go around the ditch or.
Do you need any, written permission from any of the landowners?
Just need permission from the court, and we get some of the people up there have been cleaning tanks out and stuff. Don't have to get on, got plenty of right away on it. I talked to Traffic Shelter Saturday about it, he's all for it. He wouldn't mind being able to get his tractor across.
Can you put cans in there to carry the water that comes through that creek?
I'm putting 3 5-footers in it.
What do you recommend?
That's what he recommended.
Okay, I'll move to, allow Chief Wiley to access the field dirt, where applicable, and or permission may be acquired for that temporary project.
Yes, sir.
All in favor?
Aye.
Carried 5-0. Okay, item number 14. Discuss and consider monument of 10 commandments on front lawn courthouse. Mr. Kevin Wiley.
I talked to Alan about coming, and Alan got a busy schedule today, and besides that, he's not much on. He said, figure it out where you want to put it, let me know, and I'll make it happen. I did ask Pastor Gary Elrod to come up too. You had a little input into what he wanted to do with it. It's supposed to be ready. We just need to find out exactly where you want it to be put in place. Here at the courthouse. And once that's happened, then Alan's taking care of the base part of it to be able to set it up.
Well, everybody be aware of the controversy that's going on over in the city with regard to their.
I believe when we originally discussed this, that we discussed it in a non-religious context, that we're really setting up a monument based on the Judeo-Christian laws that form this country. And that it's more of an homage to the foundation of this country and the laws they used at the time that reflect this country's values. It's not trying to pay any particular attention to any specific religion except that one that was the force driving behind the establishment of our country in this state. So, okay.
Well, I understand that. The 10 Commandments is what we've lived by for thousands of years, what established the country, and I certainly am atonement of every one of them. Though I mean, people find a few flaws in my application thereof. But I just know that these issues come up with this. I've left y'all a little bit of information to look over. Have Pastor Elrod, would you like to come up here and make your points? He probably, I don't know if he got this, I'll give you my copy of it. He's probably well aware of those.
I am, yes. I'm just in favor. Mr. Wiley asked me, my opinion, where to place it. I guess agree with your position, where position it on the way in, on the north side of the tree. I know it's other cities are having controversy, and I agree with Commissioner Sipes. Deal with that. Should deal with that if it comes up. We do have a unique community. I think we appreciate it.
Okay, what group is this? Is there a group tied to this?
I've talked to him about it. Alan Oliver's one that took care of all the money collecting and ordering of it, and all that kind of stuff.
So 1 minute community of Alan Oliver took care of collecting money from them.
Yeah.
Probably good. Once again, setting aside a set of moral precepts that we care for this community to aspire to shouldn't rain no beauty. And if it does, I'm sorry for that.
But here's the deal, guys. It comes a point in time that we need to stand up for what is right, and what our rights are. And I feel in my heart that that's why our country is in the position it is today, because there's been too many people sitting on the sidelines and not standing up for what is right.
Well, that's going to be a donation to the county. We're going to have to go through a little process there of accepting donations or authorization for a group, I name a group to install that. I think we're going to have to do a little bit of legal, have a little legal advice. Put that together on just exactly how we need to accept that donation, either the funds or the project itself. And, I think it'd be great if there was organization named, apply that to. Friends of Young County or
Whatever, we asked Alan and him, they may come up with something, let's come up with it or whatever. What they do with it.
okay,
But
thank
what
you.
we need to do is figure out, putting it out front is, it's okay with court.
Well, I don't think that the court's gonna have any problem with it, where you describe it, and I guess that's in the center part between the sidewalks coming in from the north side of the courthouse, north of the tree there somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, we've got cameras that observe it and it's damaged. Things that cover up there. Don't talk about having it, but you never know.
But if it comes to that point, we can always put something there or whatever, be easy to do.
That's
Is there any action necessary for us to move with our already taken?
Just to say it's okay to put it where it needs to be put again.
These have to be brought to us when there's some permission for the donation, some sort of
well, for,
acceptance of the donation.
yeah, we can accept donations, county can accept donations for specific projects, and those funds have to be spent precisely for that project in that manner. They have to be on account set up, or I don't know, account, but they'll have to be accounted for the donations either by the group or by the individual, or if the group's gonna do that, we probably don't have to take that as a donation, we could just let them do the expense of the installation, and give them authorization to do that.
See, that's the way it is right now, is there's been no expense to anybody.
Not $1
Not one of the county money's been spent. And the money has already been delivered to the people that's doing the monument through Morrison's Funeral Home. And Morrison's Funeral Home's gonna pay for the mountain and the bottom of it, so there's not gonna be any money from the county come out of it. So it's
The
something,
monument itself is.
the monument, and everything's paid for, it's just gonna be given, allowing the space to put it.
But according to this article, is there not a Supreme Court ruling that clarifies our decision and makes it okay? We have backing behind the Supreme Court.
Is that case, would it matter to you?
Sure.
Would it matter to you if it weren't?
Well, it's just another area
It's not
to cover our
Plus, covers it.
There should be no controversy on this decision.
I've answered several questions by folks in the community about that when we first brought it up.
There's case law debate.
What I'd like to see is a group's name,
Down, talk down with it.
And put a name on that.
yeah, put a name on that group that's gonna do that. You know, make some kind of statement with the monument that this was donated to Young County by this particular group.
Okay.
Senator over there decided to be federal money for all
Okay, well, let me have a motion to authorize a benevolent group of citizens of the county and or elsewhere to erect a monument of the Ten Commandments on the north entryway of the courthouse. We have a motion to approve it, second by Sykes, to authorize that installation. All in favor? Carried. Okay, very good. Item number 15, consider contract to ratify finance, new grader, first nation bank install policy, this is gonna be.
Yeah. It's just financing it through First National Bank, which all falls 2.25%.
The difference is what's, the difference in the buyback, so it's like 33,355 in financed with First National.
30,000.
Over three years. What's all the places in our home? Payments will be, they'll start at 2/15 of 15 of 11,554.78 for 3 years. That can be paid off at any time.
You got that form of motion?
Yes.
Is there a second?
Second.
That's big. That's three, is that 3 or not? Okay, we have a motion from Commissioner Pruitt, second from Commissioner Wiley, finance, one motor grader, at 2.5% on 3-year term, 2.25?
Yes, sir.
2.25 interest rate. First National Leasing Corporation, is that right? The Wichita Falls? I'll get them signed this minute. All in favor? 5.
On against, there's cheaper money up there.
No, really.
We've been through this.
No, because actually, if you go back and look at the amortization schedule from what we just financed, you're still financing at 3.2% until the end of the term, and then it goes to 2.20. So you really didn't gain, just so you know.
4 to 1.
FYI.
At 4 to 1. Very good. Item number 16, consider cooperating with the City of Graham to hire a bond supervisor needed by adult probation for the function of coordinating, installing, maintaining, and tracking of probationers with ankle monitors. Mr. Spike Sides.
Yes, sir.
Our
We got some
DA.
guests here, but let me kind of preface this a bit. It's been an important conversation with our district attorney about the need for this particular service in the county. We discussed it and decided to bring it forward on this agenda so that she could explain exactly what her motives were for asking for this particular position to be included in our budget and in our employee base of the probation. So, if you would, appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all having me here today. Gerald Gilmore, the head of the Community Supervision Office, he had to step out for just a minute, but I'd also like to have him in here because he could probably answer your questions better than I can because he knows how all of this operates within his office. As you all know, we've had an increase in crime, and there's been a lot of coverage of that in the paper, and people have been very frustrated. And we, as a cooperative effort, Judge Bullock and the Community Supervision Office, the law enforcement agency, the sheriff's office, the police department, we've all gotten together, and we've all been trying to, and Judge Bristow, we've tried to address this problem. Something that has become quite clear to us is that we have a lot of repeat offenders, and they'll get out of jail and then go offend again. And so we've wanted to put bond conditions on these people. In the past, we used to put bond conditions, of course, on sex offenders, repeat offenders, DWI offenders, and other, high-risk offenders. We would put bond conditions, and they had to stop doing it because it became somewhat overwhelming. So they quit doing that. Gerald had to tell you exactly when that was. At the time they stopped it, they had 200 people that were on bond conditions, is what he told me. Recently, and it was prior to the formation of our City Leaders Against Crime group, I had a probationer from Stevens County that moved to Graham, and he was or not probationer actually, he was charged with murder. And as high as the bond was that we had set in the case, he managed to make that bond, and he continued to make that bond, and so I requested an ankle monitor be placed on that individual, and it proved to be very successful. As a result of that, we started thinking about getting ankle monitors placed on more of these people that are out on bond, because these people tend to reoffend. It's helped with our, investigation into, exactly how they're reoffending and with whom they're reoffending. It's been a very good law enforcement tool. But it requires some man hours to monitor these things. They're done by emails and texts and what have you at all hours of the night. And I brought this up at our Community Leaders Against Crime meeting, and Judge Bullock was present at that meeting, and thank you for also present at that meeting. The city has offered some assistance in helping us try to control the crime problem that we're having, and they said, we would love to, we can monetarily help finance some of these things. So it's come to my attention that the probation office is overwhelmed with just monitoring the probationers as it is. And then to throw on top of that, bond supervision, it's got to the point where, they just don't have enough manpower to do all this. Plus, you have a problem within your office if you have a bond supervision. Now, you can't do that by the state. Does not allow that. You cannot by law. If you would have come tell them a little more about what all, I'm sure you answered the question. I'm sorry.
What did you say? You can't do it?
Well, the money that we've got into, the problem is, the money the legislature gives us is for people that are on probation, not prior to. So, bond supervision, you have before they go to court. So, we're sitting there, and there's some of these that really need to be supervised.
Isn't there something in the statute about community supervisor supposed to administer that bond supervision?
It's supposed to be a bond supervision office, not related to law enforcement or probation.
Then where does this bond supervisor work at it? Who's the answer to?
Okay, and we've been discussing this, and
A
we have,
space that will be provided somewhere.
well, we were thinking that since Judge Bristow supervises the community supervision office, that he would probably oversee the bond supervision officer. I've talked to Brian Walls about office space for this individual, and he has an office that's available. And this would help because we've had some logistical problems as far as having these people put on bond conditions that they cannot get out of jail without placement of an ankle monitor, and 3 days later they report up here to get their ankle monitor put on, which makes no sense to me. They should be getting the ankle monitor on at the jail when they're being released on condition that they have an ankle monitor. So that would help us logistically, and of course it also helps with that. And the city has offered, like I said, they haven't put it on their agenda yet, but they're set to put that on their June 5th council agenda for discussion. But everything I've heard so far is very positive, and they are, they think about 50-50 with the county on hiring someone. So.
What is the qualifications you're looking for?
Well, somebody that's got a lot of time.
And they have to have a bachelor's degree or anything like that stuff.
Anything like that.
Is there any more time than a normal officer for that? As you face it?
I think so.
In what way?
Well, like this weekend, I had 17 text messages where there were violations. So I had to go to the computer and draw them up and see if they had cut their straps off, left, or if they were outside their area, that they were curfew from 9 to 6, or if they left the county without permission. So it's just
Out of the 17, what condition did you find? Did you find all were in violation?
I didn't find but one that would be, and I've already had on top of them.
Why would you get 17 texts if there was only one violation?
Well, they don't monitor what you would consider. If it shows, they send it to you.
And at times.
Shows
we have
how they
a-
move around.
Right. Yeah. They have to stay within the county from, during the daytime. They have to be at home inside their house from 9 to 6. So I had one left out to go to work this morning at 5:55.
So this officer would maintain daily contact with all of those people?
Well, he could. The judge.
What's the minimum standards for this officer conducting this business?
It can be, whatever the judge orders, it can be once a week, once a month, twice a week, or whatever.
How many people do we have currently in ankle monitors?
I have 6. I'm gonna have one more today if I can find him. You know, Throckmorton County. And I've got, I think 5 or 6 that have been ordered that are still in jail, so if they make bond.
Well, and this wouldn't be just supervising
No.
ankle monitors, this is also, there's bond supervision on all sorts, and they have to come in, they have to report on a monthly basis or a weekly basis, whatever they see that's most, are necessary for that particular individual. And, I mean, they'll do drug testing, just,
Part of those conditions is drug testing.
well, absolutely, random drug testing.
Does that officer do drug
DWIs,
testing?
they have to have a smart start.
Yeah, DWIs, that's,
We do drug testing. First, you have to go out to their house on occasions to make sure there, because not everybody's on ankle monitor.
Or the ones you're
I
monitoring
have-
right now on probation.
I have 53, and I've got one coming in this morning while I'm here. That just got out of jail. So those people out of 6 of them I have.
There's absolutely no capacity inside this adult probation to handle this work.
I can't pay anybody by law. Our money's not. We have been doing it. 2 years ago, we were doing it, and they started all this. And
Previous to this, who's been doing it? Who's doing it 10 years ago?
Yeah. And it's got to where when the money got tight with the state, that they started clamping down. We had 200 on when we had to do it about 2 years ago.
Notice that there's still making some grant money available for this?
Not that I'm aware of, not for us. I'm sure there's.
I think there was something mentioned in the statutes, even that there was grants available and there wasn't money available.
Right.
Grants gotta be funded.
We're looking at specific salary, Darrell.
It might be in-
well, the city just, David Castile had sent me an email just saying that he was looking at something approximately around 35,000 times 1.4 labor burden, times 50% per entity, or about 24.5 each entity for a year.
So you're looking at about 43,000 insurance.
Yeah, so are you talking about a county employee?
It would be sort of a quasi, sort of a hybrid city-county employee.
Kind of like the dispatch is.
So you figure $7,500 for insurance, and that's my deal with us being self-insured, and they pay half of the insurance, that's fine, but then we also have to fix up the claims for that employee. So you kind of have to look at it a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the city would want to pay half, anybody else, I don't pay half the claims on.
What about Stevens County?
Well, that's
Honestly different.
but that wouldn't be a part of this. I mean, I don't know how we.
This is just includes.
This is your.
Now, they also have a fee, when they come in and report once a month, they have a fee that they have to pay that will go back in. So you would get some.
And you
From
did
the
collect
ones that
quite a
pay.
bit. You collected quite a bit
Yeah.
a while back.
I get $60 a month. Same for probation. If they pay.
Okay.
The city have them, and that's paid insurance.
I've got a couple of things. One is a question. The monitors available so that they're GPS enabled, so that you can identify where they are.
Oh, you can tell within their house. It's dots, and it shows them walking around their house and where they are.
No, I mean, they're down the street.
Yeah.
They decide to go to the counties and bring
Bring
it
it
apart.
into us.
I can draw it up to where, what part of the house
I mean, if they go outside of their house, so they're in violation,
Anywhere,
and does
like
it,
anywhere,
will it show where they are?
anywhere in the world.
Huh?
Anywhere in the world, they say.
Okay. Well, let me say that I would certainly support the idea of the ankle monitors, because it used to be very helpful when the health probation could monitor the bond conditions on people, even on misdemeanors, because you get like a DWI offender regularly would have a bond condition, used to, that he doesn't drink anymore. He don't drink when he's on bond. Well, they get stopped somewhere for public intoxication, not driving again, not another DWI, but public intoxication. Well, they violated their bond conditions. Well, they used to, until health probation had to quit. You know, they monitored what these people in bond conditions were doing. One guy like that, he'd get arrested for public intoxication. He's also going to get a motion to revoke his bond or increase his bond amount. And he'd go back to jail till he make a new bond, which is going to be more expensive, and sometimes it could, sometimes it couldn't. But it certainly helped to have that supervision of people that were on bond conditions before their trial, because sometimes it takes a while to get around to the trial section, and any kind of monitoring of the lawbreakers during that time is a help. So I would certainly support the idea.
Well, 17.44 of the Texas Criminal Code, the Community Justice Assistance Division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice may provide grants to counties to implement electronic monitoring programs authorized by this article. Would it be possible we might see if there's grant money
Well, so
available?
they might provide, they didn't say they will provide.
I certainly know that where money is short, it's down there in Austin.
Yeah, it really is.
If there's any money available, yeah, I think so.
But wouldn't it be pretty if we asked for it?
But I have to side with them on this, because the more offenders you get off the street that's going out and getting on bond, screwing up, let's put them back in there. They belong, and not out here hurting other people possibly.
Do we have very many bond forfeitures?
Do we have very many bond forfeitures?
Yes.
Well, we're beginning to file, because I got a little fed up with what's been going on with them, being people on bond that have no way of even affording bond. So, yeah, we've been doing 5 times a night lately.
One that was on the ankle monitor last Monday.
Yeah.
Put him back in jail around lunch. And he made bond by 4:30, about 100,000, and back on monitor.
How many cases we got over in Alden? I mean, do you think it'd be possible to ask them to look money too?
I don't have that broken down.
You can ask.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, right now I've got 53 of them. And,
How many
like I
officers
said,
do you
I have
have?
turned down a lot.
How many officers do you have?
I have,
Yeah.
I have about 2 here, 1 in Allen, 2 in Breckenridge, and I have 1 in Breckenridge that comes over here every Wednesday.
6,
Science.
5. And how many probationers do they supervise
Each, well, we have, just in Young County, I have 668 people with, that have 869 cases.
668.
68.
That's a 300
piece.
Yeah, they see around 150. So
They're kind of loaded.
we're overloaded.
Well, last year I filed 165 motions to revoke probation.
Would the city be interested if you, or their officers hired somebody, and we, you know,
I can talk to them about that. You're saying one of their
PD
PD officers?
Somebody within
Can't be associated with law enforcement. Can't be a law enforcement officer or a probation officer.
Wow. Can't be one.
Could be retired.
Could be retired?
Yeah.
Okay.
If
To make sure that you have a facility care.
I would
We're willing to put those time, those hours.
I'd rather them be retired, you know, something like that, that'd be a good job for them. Supplemental their income.
Who's gonna be the supervisor?
That's full-time county employee, the city.
Secret
That's one thing.
I'm sure he would help out there.
Yeah, I drew that strong.
But you're saying Briscoe's gonna be that?
He would be the
Here, he'll be that same.
Yeah,
Should
one
be
person
what?
to report to, and I would think that the judge would be the appropriate person, in as much as he, you know, he oversees the whole probation office.
So you'd be supervisor of bond condition.
Right, well, to get him started and how he files the motions to revoke them and go off bonds and stuff, yes. And he has problems with questions.
Would that then make him a county employee?
And see, that's what I'm wondering, because if they're county employee on their insurance, as far as getting reimbursed for the insurance premium is not a problem. But then with us being self-insured, then there's the claims.
One of them.
But he won't be just in green. He'll have the way out.
Yes.
Oh, well,
That's right.
But, you know, I'd like it to be something that will be implemented from the context of the county, and then a participating agent be ground on here. Something like that. Under what I've heard, the description is they're going to probably be a county employee.
Well, I think we should definitely consider cooperating with the city around it, and then just work out the details as we go to see what we can talk to them about. That's why I
This will be a connection of budgetary matters.
yeah.
Well, I've had to turn some down that definitely needed to be supervised, just because I'm getting to the point where the
But I agree with what you're saying, we ought to check with Almy and see if they have give us.
Everybody involved in it,
Yeah.
this
Maybe just a little bit.
Lots of details.
Anything would help.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Kicking 5,000, 10,000, whatever.
When you start, you increase prosecutions, we get problems like these.
let me ask you a question, your ratio per case is probably 50-50 or so between you and Almy.
Between Graham and Almy, the amount of cases, and we have a lot more cases than that,
There are a
Graham.
lot more cases than that, right?
At least as far as felonies, I can't speak for, you know, what they have as far as misdemeanors, but,
I think they got 30.
We have pretty close to the full case load in on.
So, you know, probably.
Are those mostly misdemeanor? Is that like?
Misdemeanor and felony.
no, we have quite a few felony cases out there, but not, I don't think it's misdemeanor.
They've got some,
All that together right there.
20%.
You asked a little bit about it.
One officer caseload.
Forfeiture, probably dying folks.
Yeah, there you go.
Can you, do you have the information about the number of nice eyes that's been filed and collections that we've collected on farm forfeiture things?
Let's see, I lost count when, Mr. Todd paid for 24 nice eyes, the court cost. We're somewhere around, getting close to 30 nice eyes so far this year. And, we're 25, somewhere around $25,000. I had looked at the figures that we've actually collected from the Boston's.
Got a little bit of
Big
nice
bag
eyes
of
this year, quite often, and normally it doesn't result in the complete forfeiture of face value of the bond, but there'll be some kind of,
If
there'll be a negotiated.
they're interested within 180 days of the day they don't show, then the most I can collect from them is the court cost and the cost of bringing them back to ground, to the county jail. But if they're arrested here in town, all I get is court costs. If they're arrested somewhere else, then, I can collect from the lawman for having sent the deputy to go get them, bring them back. And, or, like, one of the rest of El Paso, they had a prisoner transport, bring him back. But, anyway, it has improved our attendance at court considerably, but it does make an awful lot of money. But I have 2 or 3 pending now. They've been out for more than 180 days, which will be several $1,000s. And it's going to cost a lot.
What does the law read on that, on what you can do with that law enforcement money?
I'm not exactly sure I can look into that. This is something that really hadn't been done much, and we're just now beginning to do that. And I'll look into that.
It just goes to the county treasurer.
Yeah, but there's gonna be some stipulations to what you can do with that money.
Yeah, I don't know.
I wish it was like I checked them, because, an extra $30,000 or so a year would be nice.
I'm glad it works out like the same.
But it's not, it goes, the bond for everybody goes to the treasurer.
My point on that is though, is if it would be possible to be able to fund this person with that law enforcement money. That would
Maybe
be.
it's not a guaranteed thing.
It's not, I'm not saying it's a guaranteed thing, but if it's something like.
I think those conditions can be set at the time the judge sets the bond conditions. The conditions of what happens when money's paid in case of forfeiture. The law is not real specific.
Forfeiture is when they don't show for court,
I'm talking about the,
which is judgment license.
Yes.
But the violation of law conditions, they just get rearrested, and if they get out of jail, they have to make a new bond, larger amount.
the law just says the cost of electronic monitoring or testing for controlled substances under this article may be assessed as court costs in order to pay directly by the defendant as a condition of bond. That's what we do.
We don't pay the ankle monitor.
No, we make it.
I have a company
The
that.
cost of electronic monitoring or testing for controlled substances under this article may be assessed as court costs or ordered paid directly by the defendant as a condition of bond.
See, that's my point is, in this situation here is if we can make those people that perform that breaking the law pay for this person to do this, that's the way we need to figure out how to do it.
Well, we do make them pay for the monitor. I mean, they have to pay.
I understand that, but the guy doing the monitoring, he says, he has to pay.
have an extra fee. You have the fees that they pay monthly. Go to that, or however you decide to use it.
You know, $60 though, and you got 10 people, that's not much money though. You got third where you're having 100 people on the monitors to make it
Well,
work.
you don't make, the way I have it set up is we don't make any money by monitors, because the company I use lets me pay for, I don't have the money to pay in case they don't.
Yeah.
So they do.
And
Set them up correctly, pay.
if they can't pay, they probably got a pay schedule they gotta take care of.
Then they have all kinds of units that, we have an alcohol deal. If he puts one on the DWI for, instead of Smart Start, and they claim they don't have a card, I've got a little wand that they can carry with them. And whenever I want to close them, they have to stop the blow and take some pictures. It's them. So, so, there's lots of different things, but I can't pay,
Yeah.
What do we charge for the drug test?
Ankle monitor.
What do we charge for the drug test?
Drug test, charge $15 to start with on the first one.
and then it has to be sent in 2 more times for to be recertified.
So the law here says home confinement is testing on a weekly basis.
You can. We use cups to start with, and then if they're positive, then we send them to the lab, and then they'll have to do 2 more rounds of testing.
So it's gonna be charged on a weekly basis.
Costs about $60 to do a 1 to 4.
That'd be $240 a month. Just
Yeah.
for drug testing.
They're paying $300 a month for that one.
For that,
They pay $340 the first month to have it installed, and then $300 thereafter.
They're being told not to do that again.
They're being told not to do
Not to do that again, whatever it is.
Do they,
that miraculously, they come up with the money for that.
where does it go?
Huh?
Where does that go to the?
goes to the company that provides.
So if they don't pay it,
So it doesn't go to us?
No,
They just can't get out.
I bet you it's crowds.
I think we need to get our heads together.
Yeah, we
Figure
just
out
talk.
what we can, can't
I'm
do,
down to
how we
Wiley's,
can
it's
fund
just
it.
a-
We do.
I think we have to.
It's a good idea, but, we just need to figure out how we can, because like what Cheryl's saying is it becomes a county employee, it becomes a big.
I'd like to fund everything done before the court, we gotta look at it and talk about it, make sure we fight for it in this situation. Public safety.
What all kinds, you're gonna have to have a computer, correct? Okay. Do you have to physically go out there and check on that person if you can't find him?
It doesn't show up, you have to go.
Okay, so if that's the case, that person either gonna have to be furnished a ride or they're gonna have to be furnished monetary amounts for fuel. Vehicle.
But I don't think they're all saying like, let's say they're in a bar at 1 o'clock in the morning. He goes out immediately. The next day is when he does all his paperwork and checks it out, correct?
It's not 24.
No, I can't see it doing
Not
that.
special circumstances.
Yeah, we do. We don't go out at 1 o'clock, but we go out to bars at
Right.
9, 10 o'clock. Okay.
Right.
Plus we go visit them at work to make sure they are there.
See, that's why I said it's gonna be unique.
It's
It's gonna have
very
to be
Right,
exciting.
yeah.
somebody that's retired, somebody that don't have a lot of time, any home life at all.
That's right. If they don't show up, they're usually.
I don't think you want somebody retired.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Insurance.
They won't be retired long.
I didn't say how old he was being retired, he may be 50, 60 years old.
Well, Ex-military, ex-law enforcement, you're good with it,
That
right?
person retired.
Ex-military law
Somebody younger that was
Can't
gonna
go,
stay in there
can't
a while.
retire now, talking about
I
age.
ain't got no guarantee that
Somebody
they'll
that
work
say
there.
might go into their.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
She is, I'm not talking
But we
No, I'm
also
not talking
try
about
to.
age, but the same, you want
Know who
somebody
they
that
are
wants to
and
stay in
stuff.
that
We get
position.
Okay, what do we need to do with this? Is this something that the court wants to consider, is willing to consider? I don't think that it's something that we probably would act on immediately, but during our budget process, which we're now moving into, I think that certainly we could look at that. I think the court has any interest there in that.
I think we should hear what the city of Graham says, their 15th.
They're putting it on their June 5th council agenda.
Where you gonna go present it to?
I'm go, not necessarily, I don't think I'm presenting it, but I can go and see what I can do to answer questions, which obviously I don't have all the answers because this is a little premature at this point. We just kind of said we need to do something and I'm kind of brainstorming with you guys.
Are you gonna get with Phil Jeske here, or maybe somebody over on it too?
I'm sorry, get him?
With Phil Jeske, he's gonna be the new mayor.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I guess we could do that.
Yeah, and you check with them and see what they
Okay.
say. Please.
These discussions need to take place before we formally talk.
Yeah.
But I consider it.
And then we need the guidelines, what can't be done, like, can't be an officer, can't be this.
Right, yeah.
Unless you
definitely.
retire.
Well, Darryl,
Unless you retire.
I'll agree.
Yeah, he could be retired, he could be somebody that quit being a probation officer.
Or expectations of that person.
Parker County had that.
There's several of them online.
But done then. And you know, here's the other thing, here's the
Tarrant County
other
had like 2,000 of them.
I'm sorry, what?
Tarrant County had like 2,000 of them.
let's say you hire, let's say you hire one guy. Then when that guy takes a vacation or that guy's sick or something, somebody's gonna have to take his place while that guy's out for a week or two or whatever. You know, that's another thing to look at the same time. Then y'all's office may wanna take it or
We'll
whatever.
help all we can. I mean, that's not. And we'll help him. We can find out a lot of information to our office, where they may be or so.
Are they doing this on juveniles too?
No, I really don't know what they're doing. Or any other
I think there's been some instances of, I think, auditors on the, not here.
Sounds good to consider.
Yep.
Okay,
Thank you so
We
much.
find out what happens on the fifth, find out what all this says.
I hope this, table this for further consideration.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Darrell? All in favor? Carried 5-0.
We'll look at Wiley.
Okay, item number 17, discuss and consider need for and method of disposing air conditioning equipment in the basement of the house maintenance items.
I bid for the installation crew for the boilers last week. They check over what we had so far as the boiler shipments that what they're going to need. And we were discussing the fact that that's pretty crowded down there where they're going to be working. And they said it'd be a great help if we could clear that unnecessary equipment out of there prior to them installing the boilers. I said, if you gentlemen see, but that couldn't be accomplished. That old chiller down there, I don't think it's serving any kind of function.
That's compressor.
Compressor. Serving any kind of function at all down in that place.
No, it's been evacuated. They call it Freon cooling.
So I guess it just be a matter of,
It's a simple deal.
well, and just post it out for bids, I guess, if it's salvage waste materials.
I don't
know you.
I don't know if there's parts of it that you can get out without
That's my part.
first cutting it up. It'll dismantle, and probably most of it will dismantle into pieces that are sized enough to get out the door somewhere or another. Manhandle.
Like the windows, they don't, the windows after fixing the windows.
But there are parts of it.
Don't do that.
Would be manhandled without.
Whoever the bid's got the contract, we know that it's got to be taken out, where it's got to be taken out at, to find out what it's worth.
Charles Lehman would be able to know what that's going to require. Now, there's part of it that's got brass tubes in it. Considerable number of them, and I think that way out pretty salvageable after, especially being brass.
So that would encourage someone to get it out there for us.
Right.
I'm pretty sure that when Robert was here, we had the oil evacuated, took it out of it too.
So it's pretty well clean, evacuated, ready to go, and a piece of salvage equipment or waste material for the county to get out. Because I know that the courthouse can use the extra space for the janitor supplies and various other things.
I believe that was put in probably in the late 60s. I'm not sure if they did take that in for all kind of courthouse or whatever. I mean, just looking around and it looked like it.
Had to use it in, like ship and bottle it.
Yeah. And it's got, if I recall right, it's setting up on blocks. I mean, it's having septic pillars 40 and underneath it.
What is like?
got to become heavy on that.
Well,
Some advertising.
we have,
Um,
get on, we have.
They said they would wait to hear from us and see what the schedule could be, that we can wait on, but I can't wait too long, of course. When the guy comes up ready to go to work, he's gonna go to work. It's gonna make it that much harder to get it out of there, once they have new boilers. I asked him that, and he did not have a schedule for it. Discussed it with him. He told us it'd be 2 weeks when we got the equipment shipment in. And that was about 3 or 4 weeks ago. Okay? So their schedules are not real tight so far as that, because depending on how much problem they have with the job that they're doing, how much longer it takes, and what jumps up. And Mr. Beeman was here with a contractor, I guess he uses to do the main installation of that. He supervised it. And they were needing some additional parts, and then the manufacturer comes down and does some sort of installation with the controls on the entire system. So
This thing's obsolete, there's nothing, no part.
that's going to be my question. Is it of any use at all other than just a skeleton and bone?
I don't think so.
Matter of fact, we asked the guy from Carrier here at that time.
Well, why don't we write a list of specifications and put it out for bid and see what we get?
Do we want to do it ourselves?
Get Charles down here, let's
Okay,
talk, see what,
at the next commissioner's.
what's gonna be required to get it out.
That will be the 11th. Well, why can't he just come to you?
That's good, I mean, that's what I meant, we'll just get it down here on
I
site.
thought you were coming to the next one.
That's just to see what.
Before you.
Yeah.
So he can come discuss it with you and see what all.
Yeah. Permanent, so, y'all, everyone would be agreeable to dispose of, finally be in there. If you talk to Mr. Bean about what he thinks his schedule is, and then we'll go back to. It'll take a lot of hacksaw blades to get it out.
Well, it would probably be, somebody would probably take that to display somewhere. If you could get it out there.
Get it out there.
Get it out and put it back together.
The building's gonna be a problem in the way. But the good news there, if they decide to go down there and start cutting, we're using the cutoff saw, we remove the gas cans out there. There's some farms, so we don't have gas leak in place.
Any action you want to take on that item?
Information to consider.
Discuss, consider budget calendar, okay, I've provided, put together some input from Cheryl and about scheduling those things, and this pretty well follows what last year's calendar followed. The dates have been jockeyed a little bit one way or the other. Calls for, I believe, August the 25th to adopt the final budget and to set the rates. It gives about 30 days, gives us another month if we all get crossways and have to do it all over.
Just say that.
It's my bad for tomorrow. Wait till it's fine.
I know, good figure. It looked like, it's like a good day or something.
Got June 16th to introduce the budget request. Our audit will accumulate and file. And then we'll work all day. Again, on the 23rd, presentation, we'll do it 26th, that's on Thursday if that's necessary. July 14th, budget workshops, 15th, again, if necessary. The 18th if necessary. We won't receive the certified appraisal till supposed to receive it by the 25th of July. Sometimes that doesn't happen. Just exactly on time.
Let you know, I will be out of the state on the 18th of July.
On everything.
Do you think Luke could give us a ballpark figure?
Well, I'm asking, I want to already do. And he said they were having some issues evaluating their business personally already. Said some of the bigger industries like Southern Bleacher, Air Tractor, some of those, their requirements gives them 30 days extension and things like that. He said it can make a difference one way or another in the estimate. Yeah, I've been poking on him a little.
It's good because we got the old steel stadium building is up and running again, so. That'd be a good deal.
We keep the hands wet and tickling.
Thanks for taking precautionary measures.
That's what they're assuming they're talking about. You should just leave the basement open.
The spirit, when the bed is coming through now.
We've got,
You got that put down.
That net is
The bottom.
Yeah, what it is.
got all, what days do we have set to go?
On this first one, you know, going to the appraisal office, yeah, so that's good.
Calculate all of our rates.
And then we'll have that for them on, I guess the Monday after that, we'll kind of have that, because we have a,
See, we've got new wording this year, the legislation is we gotta have it pretty close on our tax.
Yeah.
Oh,
They made sure it went over that yellow.
yeah.
yeah.
Is there any adjustments that anybody see that we want to make on that? So maybe those, maybe your size won't be there on the 18th.
Yes.
This is the necessary one anyway.
Yeah.
We can fix his budget when he's gone.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I can imagine what it
We can fix it.
By the way, you have one point.
Okay, is that make everybody's approval?
Still pretty.
Approve that budget calendar?
is what it is.
Looks good.
I'm going to move that we adopt this budget calendar for budget planning purposes for FY 2015.
Thanks.
Second down here. All in favor? Carried 5-0. Okay, we need to consider any burn restrictions.
I say leave it alone, now, adjourn. So,
I want you to know that, the commissioners went out to San Angelo, did a good job out there. That's where he's letting water out of them. Y'all on the rank.
Damn. I'll take responsibility for that.
Okay. You know, those folks need to.